They have given us something called as extra information. What does extra information do? Extra information allows you to hold similar kind of information for example, let's say medical information, okay, India nomination information. You can have multiple nominees, right? Miscellaneous information. Let's see what's there in the miscellaneous information. This is like PAN applied, residential status, one set of information. Let's say Canada designated groups or previous military service information, additional personal information, political status, file information, personal details, disciplinary action. So disciplinary action is something that you can have multiple for a person, right? So like date of event, what is the event, disciplinary action, what is the comment, and things like that. You can hold multiple instances of this. So how does this work? Suppose you have an incident to report or incident to record. You go to this extra information, click on correct or update.
Okay, multiple rows I can add it here, whereas
Yes.
in DFF I cannot add multiple
Correct.
rows.
Correct. Now, same information. Right. So I'm not eating up those since DFFs are also limited. I can use it elsewhere. But for person specific, there can be person, assignment, organization, position. So something which is specific to that record.
And these values, right? These are predefined that comes.
No, you can design as many as you want.
No, which I see now currently in your.
Yes.
These are all okay.
Some of them, yes, some of them are, but some of them also come. They are designed because of
localization.
No, not because it's a demo environment. Okay, all of them may not come in in a crystal clear environment like a production or a test environment which is provided by Oracle. Okay, now you see, so I say, what was the action taken, disciplinary, absent without information, let's say.
So EFFs, when we say we have to configure EFF, it's only in extra information.
Yes, and that it's called extra information, extensible Flexfield. Actually, that's the official name.
So if the EFFs we cannot configure outside this extra information.
Correct. They have a specific place where they will be displayed.
And this is the only place it will be displayed.
Yeah.
Okay, because I get confused because one time I'll tell you one interview I attended, they were asking the same question. Okay, can you configure EFFs? Where do you see do you see EFFs only in extra information or not? So
actually, extra information like this is at the person level. So you can have this official name is person extensible information, right?
Okay.
So wherever you are calling this extra information, you can see it there. And like this can be at the person level, it can be at the assignment level. So depending on how they have asked that question, what was their intention?
Okay. So let's say I understood what you're saying is that this is a person extensible one.
Correct.
So it's coming in the person X information. once you are done, show me an assignment. Do we have any
Yeah,
extra
I'll show
information?
you. I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay, so once you save and you submit, then you can have multiple. So it's recorded. And in this way, you can have multiple DFF, multiple person extra information. Okay. Now, how do we define it? I will show you how we define it now. So we go to the setup and maintenance.
Mm.
And then easiest way is look for extensible. Okay. So you see this is person extensible Flexfield, workforce structures extensible Flexfields, organization structure extensible Flexfield. So in this manner, you can have different types of extensible Flexfields. You see this? Employment extensible Flexfield. So instead of EXT, let me put the word as extensible. So you have these. Okay. Now, to configure a person extensible Flexfield, we click on the person extensible Flexfield, go here. It is very similar to DFFs, okay? But there are 2-3 important steps that you have to do for this. I'll show you those. Now, the difference is that when we say person extra information, you click here, you get all the different types of flex field displayed over here. Okay, so when I click on it, you see these are the ones that we were seeing over there. Canadian designated groups, additional person details for ADP, Chinese personal file, or disciplinary action. So there are two important things that you have to do for a person extra information. One is associated contexts. Another one is the pages that you need to design or define, rather, not design, define. So these two steps have to be taken and they have to be linked to each other. So how do we do that? Let me show you the entire set of steps. Now, when you come here, first thing that you do is click on this manage context. You see at the top, manage context. Click manage context.
When we say manage context, what does it actually mean?
It is actually the name over there.
Okay.
So when I click on this, these are the segments that I'm going to, the context that I'm going to create. So I'll give a name, let's say SP company assets with employee. Behavior, here you can choose, do you want multiple rows or single row? You might want a single row or you might want multiple rows. In this case, I'm enabling multiple rows.
So in DFF, this is the difference, right? I cannot change the behavior. Okay.
Or something like that. You can enter help desk and then we save it. Okay, and And here, context usages, this is also mandatory. You have to have at least one context usage code for person. View privileges, you can just leave it blank, but you need to have this line added here, and then we save it. Okay, so now this is saved. So this name that we have defined, this is like a context. Okay, they are calling it context. That means based on the name, your segments will be different. So this is like a context sensitive segment. So if SP company asset is my context, then for this context, I can have multiple segments. So first segment I can say is serial number. And data type, I'm going to have a number. So my first one is done. And if this is going to be the unique key, I will click unique key. And always there has to be at least one unique key in your set of extensible flex fields. Suppose you are designing 5 segments, one segment must be designated as unique. So here you can search for the number. Okay, and then I scroll down, and rest of it, since it's just a number, no, we don't have to do anything else. So I can say save and close. If it was a value set, I would need to add a value set there, list of values. So let's say the next one is asset name. So I'll have to create a asset list. So I'll say create value set. SP.
This is for another one, right?
Yes, the second one. SP asset name. And this is independent list. And this will be character. And
It will be free text.
no, I'm going to have a list. So that's why it's independent. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Since it's independent, it will have a value.
This module now is very confusing as to what should be given.
See, whenever you have confusion, the best thing is look at what Oracle has done.
Okay.
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 Quickly query.
One.
Yes. Query something which is already there.
Okay.
That's what we all do. Initially, a lot of times, if you're in for the first time, you don't know what is it, what value to give, what can, like if you're on a position, job, any of the screens, you are wondering what value to give. Just do a quick query or search and see what is already there. That will give you some ideas.
Yeah.
So we add the values here. Let's say mobile. No one uses a pager these days. And let's say laptop. Chair. router. Let's just have these. So my SP asset name is done. If I want a dependent one here, I can put a brand name, right? Depending on the asset, I will have the different brand names or model name. Now here I'm going to make this a dependent one and dependent on that independent value. I'll call it character and value subtype. And it is T, and I call it as SP asset number. Asset name. Save it. The values. Add a new one. So let's say we have Acer. Okay, now I can add some more here, maybe another for mobile. Let's say Airtel for the router. Geo. Okay, and there'll be a date of issue approved by blah blah. All those things can be added here. Date of issue, date of return. Date type of Flexfield.
This is part of the second context only, right?
Sorry,
This is the third segment.
third segment. Third or fourth?
Third one.
Because I had serial number, asset name, brand name, date of issue. So
Okay.
similarly, if I have a date of return.
So basically I'm creating one context and I'll have different segments.
Correct.
Different.
Correct. Earlier, this person extra information was, something, there was another one, they used to call it special information type in R12. That was a key flex field. So here they have removed that key flex field. And in fact, in R12, your grade, position, job, all were key flex fields.
So these are not key flex field now, location, job. What do we call them then?
they are just normal, screens and just normal fields. Earlier, you could have those 30 segments. You could have up to 30 segments for key for job, position, and all that.
Okay. Okay. Right now we have only people group key Flexfield, right? And cost allocation.
People group and cost allocation is on the payroll side.
Okay.
Actually, that job and position was a bit of an overkill, having it as a key flex field, and it added a whole lot of confusion.
Okay.
Okay, now let's say our key flex field is done. The personal extensible flex field designing is done. So I will come here, and now I have to do two things. One, I have to add a context and I have to add a page. Now, before I can add the page, I have to add a context here. So I click here, and I'm going to search with the name of my key flex field. I find it, I say okay. Okay, so this is company assets with employee, and it's although it's not mandatory, but sometimes we have seen that without saving it, it may not appear on the page side when you go and search for it. So when I go to these pages,
what is protected means here, the check mark?
Protected means you can't make changes to it.
Okay.
So
When
a
we
lot
say
of
changes,
these,
it means
means structural changes. You delete the columns that you don't need. You add some columns of your own. So now here I'm going to call it SP asset details. Usage is that person. Say okay. Now once this asset details is there, in the section below, okay, you need to link it with the context. So I click on this, select, and I say SP.
I thought the context name is what will come there, but basically it's not. So I have this page name, whatever I give, right?
Yes.
That will come.
Correct. So actually context is nothing but the name of the page, you can say, that I am designing.
Okay.
Now after that step, the next step is obviously deploy Flexfield.
This one has a lot of steps compared to.
Yeah. So again, we'll do a quick sign out.
Last two classes I really feel confusing now. This one and the descriptive part one.
Yes, what happened? Sorry, I didn't get you. Last two classes?
I mean, last class and this class is a little more, confusing part, I would say.
Yeah. You know,
Descriptive, Flexfield, and this one all.
yeah, more you practice now, best. Sooner you practice, the confusion will go away.
Mhm.
Just do couple of things, you will find. See, they are very similar, right? As far as the only difference in extensible flex field is, you are putting in a context and you are adding the page, that associated context and page, 3 extra steps. Rest of it is just like DFF.
Okay, yeah.
So once you do your DFF, then if you
Mm.
do this, you will find everything falling in place.
I think the easiest way to remember is that they all are fields. They're different places we had them. Just think like that.
Shakespeare had
SPI.
yes, Shakespeare had envisioned that there'll be a product called Fusion one day. That's why he had said, "What's in a name?"
Yeah.
It's probably not yet compiled properly, but usually this is how it appears, and then
This is the page name we gave, right? That
correct, correct.
SPS.
Correct. So here there is some, see here, this was the message that I had put there, help text. This was the company assets. So just have to ensure that I sign out.
Tell me one thing, I don't remember. You gave, let's say 4 fields you gave. Out of 4, one was independent, all the others were dependent.
No, dependent, independent can be only one pair.
Okay, okay,
You
correct.
cannot have
So,
more than one pair.
okay. You sign out and sign in. I have another question. Time remaining 1 minute. We'll log
Yeah,
off.
go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay. When we came there, right, I saw that there was only one field that was showing, one field name. Maybe log in back. We'll disconnect now.
Yeah. And then one field in that list you're saying.
The same extra information. If you go there, no.
Okay.